I picked up the phone and called my mom, and I said, I need to go back to treatment. Like, I can't do this anymore. And it was the first time that it wasn't the courts, the girlfriend, the parents, the whatever that was nudging me to go back to treatment. It was like, I need treatment. I need to go get help. I started drinking and doing drugs probably age 13. I had older cousins, and growing up on Hilton Head, it was a party town. My college years at Alabama were wild. That's really where the addiction and the heavy drinking and the heavy hard drug use started. I either have to go get help, I have to go figure something out, or I'm gonna be on the street, I'm gonna be alone. December 2011, and that's the first time I entered treatment. I went to Any Length Recovery Community in Sumter. I got through the step work, and I did what I was supposed to do, but I wasn't convinced that that was my life. I wasn't convinced, shoot, I was getting high and drinking while I was there. Jessica and I met in July of 2016 while I was actually in a treatment center in Greenwood, South Carolina. And we went through a tumultuous journey over those 4 or 5 years of her trying to help me and doing everything she could in her power to save me.
When he first came to me, the first time he ever relapsed when we were together, he told me, I relapsed. And at this point, I really didn't know what I was walking into. At the time, that's like, if I can just get him to stay home long enough that we can find somewhere for him to go and get him treatment, I would do whatever. And that's literally what I did. Whatever he needed, wherever he needed to go, I did it.
She was due in February of 2019. Matter of fact, I was shooting dope in the bathroom of the delivery room. If there's a few things I could take back from my journey, that'd be one of them. After a couple more attempts of trying to get sober, I'd spent 2.5 months in jail for some pretty hefty charges, and I was released from there on bond. Where I was living was in pretty much a dope house, a trap house, and we were getting high, and I was living with a couple that had a daughter that was about Madison's age, only like a couple months apart. I remember constantly, her name was Ruby, and Ruby would be banging on the door while her daddy was in the bathroom, doing his thing, and just yelling for daddy, daddy, daddy. And it was, it hit me like, this is me, that is my daughter, only her dad's right in front of her. I'm not even there for her to be screaming daddy, for her to be knocking on the door. It was just a message from God, really, like a bit of a spiritual experience, a spiritual awakening that said, I gotta change. The final treatment center that I went to was December 13th, 2021. When I got out of treatment, I had hepatitis C. I was facing 7 pending charges. I said I didn't have a driver's license. I hadn't seen my daughter for the first 3 years of her life. I was unemployable. I could just go on and on and on and on. God cleared the way, Those felonies that I was facing, 10 years in prison for distribution of heroin, 10-year sentence reduced to 3-year sentence with a 1-year suspended probation. David and I were at the Oaks in 2016 together. I had seen what he had done with his life, and I actually reached out to him. I asked him about Sammy's mission, and we had a conversation. He said, we just got this new house, and we're very selective on who we bring in. And my wife and I have talked about it, and we think you'd be a good fit. Pray on it, and let's talk in a day or two.
I started to see a difference in him just by our conversations on the phone when he FaceTimed with Madison. And I prayed about it, and I just said, okay, I'll give you a chance. She knows who her dad is, so she deserves the right to know. I never wanted to keep her from him or not have any kind of relationship from him, because I know he loves her. Like, he never not wanted to be a dad. He just was struggling.
You know, when you're in the trenches with these guys and you go through the process of transforming your life, there's a whole different kind of relationship that you have and you build with those people. Josh was one of the groomsmen in my wedding. He's one of my best friends, and that was because of Sammy's mission. I was praying for an opportunity to get into something that I love doing and that I could make a career, and I got an interview with American Roofing Company. I now am the general manager of the branch within 6 months of working there. So, you know, hard work and determination goes a long way, but it all goes back to that foundation.
The atmosphere at Sammy's mission was so different. Just the cleanliness, you know, everybody there seemed, the way he talked about them to me, they seemed to all really want to be sober, you know, and he just gravitated towards that. I seen like the initiative of going out. You know, he told me I drove a moped up and down Greenville just to get to meetings because I seeked it, and he never did that before. And I think Sammy's mission gave him just hope and peace.
For anybody who doesn't think that redemption is possible, like, it doesn't matter what we've done, it doesn't matter what we've been through. As long as we put God first and we choose every day to live a life for Jesus Christ, then the possibilities are endless. Yes, that mountain is huge. Yes, it looks like it can't be overcome. But I promise you, you grab a hold of one of these guys who's been through this and has walked it before you, they'll show you the way to get up that mountain. It's the community, it's the support, it's the love from others. Like, it's the support system of immediate family. It's the family in my church. It's my family at Sammy's mission. I hadn't seen David in years, you know, and we came to the Sutton house my first night, or second or third night. There was a house meeting there, and he gave me a big hug, and he said, "Rob, you don't ever have to get high again." And I've heard that so many times, but it was just, it like really hit me. And it was like, no, you're right, I don't. Like, we don't ever have to pick up a drug or drink ever again. One thing I'd say to other people out there is don't give up. You know, 15 treatment centers, 15 plus arrests, countless detoxes, psych wards, you know, coming to the end of the road saying, I'm gonna die a drug addict. We don't have to die a drug addict, you know? We are recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body, and all of that is possible through a relationship with Jesus Christ.